Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Wealth Brief. I'm Charlie, that's David, both from Platinum Point Financial. And in today's chat, we wanted to go through the tax bill that was recently placed, specifically the senior deduction piece of that. Lately, we've had a lot of conversations with clients updating them on their plans and how that's going to impact them, specifically in the retirement zone for a lot of seniors. Like, how is this going to impact us? What are my tax deductions? Is this going to impact my Social Security tax? A lot of these questions, a lot of just confusion out there. So we thought it'd be helpful to put together this video to really provide some clarity on how this is going to impact millions of people across the country. So, Dave, do you want to walk us through some of the main takeaways and key points?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, it's called a temporary senior deduction because it's only gonna last from the years 2025 to 2028. So that's all that's in the bill currently. It will probably drop off after that point. Now, if you're age 65 or older, the the benefit is if you're filing single, you get a $6,000 tax deduction. If you're married filing jointly, you get up to $12,000 as a tax deduction. Now, this applies if you're actually itemizing your taxes or if you're taking the standard deduction. So that's a pretty big benefit there, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. One question, does this impact, so if you're taking Social Security um, or not taking Social Security, is there any difference, any change there?
No, it actually doesn't matter. So initially, when the bill was first spoke about in Congress, it was called like the Social Security was not going to be tax bill. Kind of that was a thought behind what this was going to, the benefit was going to look like. It's not that at all. If you're taking Social Security, if you're not taking Social Security, as long as you're 65 years or older, then you can benefit from this bill. Now, there is one wrinkle to that, of course, and as most bills we have with taxes, there is phase outs. So, from an income standpoint, there is a 6% phase out rate of income over $75,000 if you're single and 150 if you're married filing jointly.
Okay. And what's the level of income before you're fully phased out?
Yeah, great question. So, if you're making over $175,000 as a single filer, you're totally phased out. And if you're making over 250, you're not married filing jointly, that's when you're phased out as well. So
Okay.
the way that it works, for example, so let's say you're within that range of 150 to 200 or 250, I'm sorry. If you're a joint filer, you're earning $200,000 a year. They take 6% of the excess over that 150, and that's your tax deduction, which would be $3,000 in that scenario.
Okay.
Yeah. So, if you're a lower income retiree who's not paying much taxes now as it is, this bill is not really going to benefit you very much at all. If you're someone making over that 250 mark, this isn't going to really benefit you either. If you have that sweet spot in between there, you can see a pretty sizable tax deduction if it works out for you.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And one thing you mentioned in the beginning is this is temporary.
Mhm.
A lot of clients think that this is just the foreseeable future, but it's only this year to 2028, as you mentioned. So,
Yeah.
how do you keep up with all these changes? I mean, granted, you understand what this year looks like, but in a few years, you're going to be completely switched, most likely, to a different tax system. I mean, how do you keep up with all these, the changing environment?
Yeah, it's a challenge, right? You have to have a strong tax plan in your financial plan. You have to know what the impact of these next couple of years will look like. But more importantly, how will it in fact impact your life going forward for the next 15 or 20 years? So when you're meeting with someone, when you're working with someone, you're thinking through your tax plan, you need to understand, does it make sense to take this deduction now? There's other pieces of this as well that will phase out over time. There's things that you should be doing now currently that you may have to stop or pause or reduce. But unless if you have a plan in place and you understand that plan very well, it's gonna be a challenge for you to like see through this whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a lot of information to digest. It feels like you probably now, or hopefully will soon get a sense of, okay, how are these changes going to impact my personal plan? And then how do I adapt to these changes? And I will say, if you are working with someone, if your advisor isn't regularly asking for your tax returns, looking through those, providing a tax report for not just this year, but years down the road, I would strongly suggest finding a second opinion out there, because that's where the true value of an advisor come into play. Taxes are the number one expense for the rest of your life. So feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to provide a consultation. You can visit us at platinumpointfin.com. Happy to spend some time discussing the changes and how it might personally affect you and your family. So with that, yeah, we'll wrap up today's video and look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.